Thank everyone for coming and welcome. In cardiology, they say that if you're standing still, you're going to fall behind. And that has a lot to do with the type of equipment we have. I've been around for a while and have seen several of these new cath lab openings. And I'm going to say that these cath labs are probably the most spectacular I've ever seen. So the result is quite spectacular. And I think credit should go to everybody who had anything to do with these labs coming to fruition here. This is a huge step forward for cardiology here in Pikeville and for the Heart Institute. And we're looking forward to putting these labs to work as we go forward. So I'd like to just finish up with saying congratulations to everyone who was responsible for bringing these level of cath labs to Pikeville Hospital. And I'm going to go ahead and let Randy Johnson start with our prayers and everything else we do here to thank the Lord above.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's pray. God, we gaze at this new space in awe of the technology, the cumulative knowledge of those who will be laboring here for the benefit of our family, friends, neighbors, and strangers. We are grateful for the craftsmen and the technicians who have worked tirelessly to bring us to this day. We now ask your blessings on this new cath lab, this equipment, staff, and especially our patients. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right. Well, likewise, this is a very joyous occasion today. This is another huge step for this region, the service area that we're proud to obviously serve. I want to extend a few thank yous beyond being more specific in what Dr. A just said. There's a lot of work and effort that went into this vision, and to see it to come to fruition and actually being able to open it and receive patients is certainly a dream come true. As Pikeville Medical Center continues to do, we continue to lead from the front by not only the equipment but that we're able to unveil today, but also with the very best physicians to operate the equipment and those that truly represent their fields by being at the top of their class. So gentlemen, I appreciate what you do for the hospital and what you do for this region. I also want to thank Pam Farmer and the entire ARC division for the $2.2 million, or almost $2.5 million worth of grant money that was contributed towards this project, and also Governor Bevin and certainly Congressman Hal Rogers for their support. I get the opportunity and the great privilege of cutting ribbons and walking through the halls to see a lot of these the improvements and that we've seen throughout the past several years, more specifically the past year. But it doesn't come without great due diligence and a lot of hard work and a lot of thought. So we have several of our board members here today that I also want to thank. John LaBreche, Dr. Jody Metu, David Collins, and Jonelle Robinson. And then also we have a couple of new board members that's represented today. Mike McCoy, who we welcome to the board, and I understand David Baird is somewhere in the back of the room. Yeah, I see his hand up there now. So we welcome you to the board. If there's any other board members that I've missed, my apologies, I don't see you. But it doesn't stop with this investment. I'm really excited about the direction that the hospital's going. The innovative network that we've created throughout this institution is it's not only impressive, but it's important to the success and for the success of our patients and for our progression for the hospital. So as we look at our next step, the board just authorized last week the addition to the Heart Institute with a construction project that will cost us about $18 million. And then on top of that, there's about another $10 million that will follow in additional equipment. So this is a huge first step in, again, Pikeville being the front leader in new innovation, new technology. We had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago, the board and I, of walking through with Dr. Ahmad the cath labs, and it's really, truly impressive when you see the technology that you'll see as you go through today. It's impressive, and our community and the region certainly should be thankful for what we have here today. I also want to thank those that will be utilizing this equipment and offering the service to our many patients that have and will come through our door. I cannot thank you enough for the quality and the vision and the foresight of not only what you've done, but what you see and where we need it ahead. So I'm excited to cut the ribbon today, but more excited to actually be able to offer this unique service, and really thankful for everyone who was involved. So thanks to your vision, and thanks to you towing the line and wanting to really push forward with, I know who we're patting on the back over here. I got, and I'll say this as an ending comment, you didn't come here just to hear me talk, is that yesterday we had our Facebook forum which really went well, and I really appreciate it. But I used the word giddy. It's the second time I used it, and I got kind of called down for it. I asked if it was a technical term that we can now use in the medical profession. They told me no. But several times I've said, you come down, and Dr. Ahmad, if you have watched him over the past year, you've seen that he's really been giddy. Every morning he's down here, he's looking at the equipment, he's excited about it, he's high-fiving people as they go by. So I know this is something that the entire department is really proud of, but specifically and more special to Dr. Ahmad because of what this represents to this organization. So again, thank you all.
Hi, I'd like to thank everybody for coming for our special day. And I'd like to say how thankful I am to work for an organization that goes above and beyond to bring in the equipment that's needed for our community. Our community is my family as well, so thank you. It's a great honor. This equipment will allow us to go to the next step in cardiology, which is to do TAVRs and mitral clips. So our community and our patients no longer have to travel out of our area to receive those procedures. Also, I would like to say that thank you to the Cath Lab staff. Without them giving the passion and the care to our patients every day, you make a big difference in what we do, and thank you. And to the cardiologists, thank you for the dream of pushing us to go to the next level and to get this equipment. And also I want to mention the location that was chosen for these Cath Labs. We're across the hall from the emergency room. I'm not sure if you all realize that. But if you're having a heart attack, something that's very important is time. The faster we get you to the Cath Lab, the better your muscle is. Time is muscle. Being across from the hall is going to make it a lot easier to run across the hall to get you into the Cath Lab so that we can save that muscle damage. So thank you all for coming. Thank you to the hospital for giving us this opportunity to have this equipment.
Good morning. What a wonderful day. Thank you very much, Mr. Blackburn, for kind words, but I'm going to use my old excuse. English is not my first language, so I don't know what giddy means. So somebody has to explain that to me. It is such a pleasure to join you guys at the opening ceremony of our new 3 state-of-the-art Cath Labs. If I look back more than about 12 years ago, everyone wonders how long I will be lasting to do up here. And I was wondering, too, how long I will last. And like all other places where you go, you want to leave your mark. Then when we started up here, when I was first getting for interview, I got a loud voice everywhere in the hallway. You know who he is. Johnny was the one who was rounding me around. And then me and my partner started working to establish one of the, I believe, best cardiovascular program in the region. We have 2 Cath Labs. They were kind of old at that time. After a few years, we renewed and had a new Cath Labs. At the same time, we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Hanshu to join us, who has been in the area for a long time, and whose passion for patient care and his knowledge needs no introduction. Soon we got joined by Dr. A, who has established a very well-run, most busy EP practice. And then we got joined by interventional radiology and then vascular surgeon. But we have 2 labs. At that time, we did not realize it. Our Cath labs start running overtime with all of them working at the same place. Soon they got, after a couple of years, their own place, and then we realized that our cath labs, we got the bad end of the deal. We can hardly see any images, and the radiation was going high. But there's always good in what we do, so we started looking for these 3 labs. We make a lot of trips. Me, Lori, Johnny, and my partner went and started looking what is the best for our next level of care, what we want to provide to the community. These labs, which you will look around soon, will be able to provide almost everything that is available now in the cardiology world and in the next many years. As Dr. A said, if you stand still in cardiology, you will be behind years. So we have to be proactive. So in terms of getting the valves, mitral valves, left atrial appendages, doing the hybrid procedures with the surgeons, we should be able to perform all these procedures. And building up all those years, all the things which we have done and achieved, we have done with our faith that we'll be able to provide the care in a good environment with a quality care. When I was about to graduate from my medical school, my father told me a short story. He said, remember that, he told me the story that Prophet Moses became sick one day. So he used to talk with God, so he asked God, I'm sick. So he told him, go eat the leaves of this plant. So he ate the leaf of the plant and he got better. Sometime later he became sick again. So he went and ate the plant again and he didn't get better. So he complained to the God that, I ate that last time, I got better. This time I didn't get better. So God told him, it is not in the trees that is the cure. Cure is in my order to get better. So we shall all remember, do our best what we can do. Cure and healing comes from somebody above. The quality. We all strive for the quality to give best, but quality, we have a lot of people employed just to see we do a quality work. But 2 things will give you the quality, what you're looking for, is when you see a patient, he wants to come back and tell other people to come to see you and come to the facility. Second measure of quality is the people who can afford to go to other places and they want to stay and get their treatment here will define your quality. Like I was in a meeting a few weeks ago with Dr. Crum, and he said few years ago he may not be staying here for open heart surgery, but now if he wants to, he will be staying here. And we are thankful for our surgeons, Dr. Atum, who built this practice a few years ago, then joined by Dr. Halpin, and now with Dr. Deal, who will be helping us in the cath lab up here with other advanced procedures. One thing more to the community, I think we have discussed this before, but we have been number 1 in a lot of other things which we should not be, which is smoking, number 1 cardiovascular problems, diabetes. So we should start working in the community to start educating them. We should devote our time and resources, hopefully, for the board members to come up with the plan so we can start educating the school kids, start enrolling them for better care, non-smoking, and all those areas, healthy eating. So I think we should put more emphasis on there so we can be better in those and do good for our future generation. We should also, as hospital is doing, is trying to enroll people in the active, healthy habits, eating, losing weight. We should try to make it smoking-free facility for all employees and patients, and hopefully extend that to the whole county. At the end, I would like to really, really appreciate my cath lab crew who has put up with me for the last 12 years. Without them, we'll never be able to do what we have done. They are very vocal, so don't get mad if they start telling you you're not doing right or you're doing right. They will ask you all the questions. If they don't know, they will ask you. Whether you're right or wrong, they will learn like to be taught. And every time you will do something, they will let you know if they think this is not right or this should not be done this way. But they are very, very proactive. Lastly, I would like to thank also the housekeeping to keep our cath labs clean and ready for every time we need to do some procedures. Hopefully they will keep it as clean as they have done today in the hallways and around that. With that, I will give it back to thank you. Thank you very much for letting us give this opportunity to work in this fabulous lab, and hopefully we'll provide our best to give you the best care. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to cut the ribbon. So I'm going to have Carol help me here. We're going to line up everybody that has your scissors towards the front, and then on 3, we'll cut the ribbon. And then after that, we'll have our closing remarks by Dr. A. Good, everybody?
Turn sideways a little bit.
Okay, everybody kind of squeeze in a little bit. Make sure, watch for the fingers. Everybody get a cup, a hold of it, put your scissors up, make sure you don't have anybody's fingers in the mix. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dr. A.
Okay, so that was done, so now we got to get to work, I guess. So, again, we'd like to thank everybody for being here, and I want to acknowledge the hard work that was put in by everybody. Dr. Ahmad did a great job designing it together with Dr. Harris when it started, so I have to acknowledge them too, Dr. Harris also. And I think we'd like to acknowledge all the Cath Lab staff who's been working really hard on this. So if they can please stand up so we can acknowledge them. Okay, that's, and finally, we'd like to go ahead and get started on the work. There's refreshments in the back for everyone and drinks, and thanks everyone for coming again. Thank you.